We're live.
All right, let me get that link up real quick. It's the only one I didn't pull, of course. Ba-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. What the fuck? Hang on. Just having a what the fuck moment. Check, check. Let's try that again. All right, is everybody else ready? Give me a nod. All right. So here we go. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, if SCOTUS really strikes down Roe v. Wade, pornography as we know it may go with it. Step aside, Lee Majors. Val Kilmer is the latest $6 million man in Hollywood. Walmart is bringing ice cream to the Juneteenth cookout, but nobody wants it. All that, and guest panelist Eric Moore, if he shows up, on TMVP episode 81. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us. With executive producer Mike Latoris. We'll do an intro, we'll do an outro, and then do our wrap. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
And the Scorpion Goddess.
I'm a Scorpio, but secretive. I just don't say a lot of shit.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdev.
I had no, but I was, I kind of wanted to, and whoa. Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week? I'm Maddie Rockdev. This is the Media Virus Podcast. I want to sincerely thank all of our listeners. Our following is growing. And space is filling up fast, but don't worry, you too can still take advantage of this once in a lifetime opportunity. All you have to do is like, subscribe, share, follow, and call 646-VIRUS01. That's right, 646-VIRUS01, and say the phrase that pays. I listen to the Media Virus Podcast. Dump your baby gravy in my shitter.
Dump your baby gravy in my shitter.
In the C block, we will be playing our favorite game. I wish I didn't know. In the B block, we have another installment of Big Daddy's advice column called Just the Tips. At least I sincerely hope that's what this note that says tease just the tips means. I hope that's what those directions were. I'm supposed to be following. But right here, right now, let me introduce to you the Reverend and Professor Mike.
Okay, so the good news is that was great video. The bad news is the limiter cut it all out.
Oh, that sucks.
So we got
How much?
Look.
I'll do it again. Mike. Latore.
Good evening, everybody. Loving having you here.
How's it going, Mike?
Oh, fucking fantastic. Wrote the show. We had a guest panelist booked who did not show up. Hopefully he's looking at the live stream saying, oh shit, I'm supposed to be somewhere, and he'll pop in a few.
Well,
not.
I did post a link to the live stream in the group chat that you put together for Mr. Moore.
Okay.
So he can at least watch the show. And little known secret to the show, I don't close it off. I don't lock it. And there's no I turn the tones off. So if somebody just shows up, we'll have no way of knowing until they say something.
Yeah, like if you've been a guest before, you can sneak in the door and do the show with us.
Right. Or you can wait till 9:00 and we open up the phone line 646-virus-01. Say the phrase that pays. Juliet Everett.
Dump some baby gravy and mush it up.
There you go. What's the phrase that pays, Juliet?
I was gonna reverse it and say, dump your shitter in my baby gravy, but then I heard it. Dump your baby gravy in my shitter.
It's not my shitter. It's my shitter.
My shitter.
And joining us this evening is Big Daddy and his chocolate munchkins. Let's go, man.
What's up?
What's up? How's it going? How'd the meeting go?
A bunch of bullshit.
Nice. It's always fun to waste your time on a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. It was about 45 minutes too long. And
how long was it?
Bullshit.
About 46 minutes.
It started at 7. Let me phrase it. It was supposed to start at 7. Probably got started like 7:15.
Could it have been an email?
Yes, it could have been an email.
Most of them can.
There you go. All right.
I have said before, generally speaking, like motherfuckers don't. You don't need to do a lot of things like in person. You know what I mean? Like if you can text, you can email. There's very little that you actually need to talk.
Here's the
do.
Not only was it a Zoom meeting or was something you had to show up for?
It was a Zoom meeting, but half were Zoom, half were live, and then they combined the two. But it could have been email. It could have been a lot less work than it was. It could have been a lot less fuckery and nonsense.
Well, I'm glad. Let me
hit some amaretto for.
You can drink some amaretto, man. Calm yourself down. We're not going to engage Juliet too much. She's really not feeling well. I don't know if she's got COVID or just
no
voice.
No COVID.
I thought you had the Rona last time.
No, I've never had it. I never got it. I just I lost my voice. It's like
never
it comes
had it
in and out
now. Tested?
No, I got test kits and all that. No, I never got it. We never got it. We've never had it. Nobody ever. Never.
Never? No, you're like denying. Are you a pandemic denier?
No, I'm saying nobody here in this house has ever had it.
I had a conversation with a lady the other day, and she said, I just got the summertime flu. I said, really? What are your symptoms? Fever, body aches. I said, it sounds like you got the Rona. No, it's a summertime flu. I said, it's exactly what someone who got the Rona would say. Why don't you go get tested before you go infect everyone that you talk to? And then 2 days later, I got the Rona. I said, okay. And how many people did you infect thinking you had a bullshit summertime flu? 8.
Damn. Yeah, no, I'm not stupid like that. I have my test kits.
So I just got over a summer cold.
Glad you got yourself
again today to make sure. But no, I either have a cold or bronchitis. I don't know which one, but there's no fever. I just have these really bad coughs. I throw up sometimes from how hard I'm coughing. I know you guys would love to hear that. And I have not had my voice for about like 4 days now, but it's like starting to come back as of this morning.
Hot tea with lemon and honey.
Yeah, I make a lot of homemade stuff too. I'll make my own teas with like a bunch of like onions, and it sounds gross, but like I get rid of the onion taste, add cinnamon and
That's
some
a Caribbean
turmeric,
recipe, right?
lemon. I don't know, maybe
I've heard that recipe. It's
ginger.
yeah, that shit's
Even
I think
turn
it's
into like a
Jamaican.
shot. Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up around a lot of Caribbean people anyway, so it
That would
probably
make sense.
is. I just throw some shit. I'm like, this heals this heals that. Throw it in a pot. So,
I
yeah.
just got over a summertime cold.
Yeah,
You
you were
did.
fucked up a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I tested it and made sure that it was a summertime cold.
Right.
From like the day that I started to not feel good, I was like, oh, I better start testing myself.
See, listener who
That's
shall
what I
remain
did, too.
nameless, you got to test that shit. Make sure you're not
Mhm.
infected. Typhoid Mary, what the fuck?
Listener who shall remain nameless.
There you go. That's the.
Yeah, because once I
Are
get
they
on
really
that
a listener?
tangent, no, which is probably good because I tend to go off on tangents about people.
Well,
And one of those tangents is probably listening. So, I have gone off on tangents about people in previous iterations of this podcast who then became listeners later, and I had to kind of backtrack my way out of some of that shit. Hey, you weren't talking about me, were you? No!
Oh,
That highly specific piece of information totally was.
not you at all.
very difficult. Very difficult. It's also difficult to transition into a story about abortion and porn.
Well, this is breaking news.
Holy shit.
Breaking news! Porn could be in danger if Roe is overturned. All bets are off, said one expert. If Roe versus Wade is overturned, as the leaked Supreme Court opinion deemed, current fabrics of American life, modern life, would be unwoven. Abortion rights are at risk, and people fear that cases about rights to contraception and marriage could be overturned next. Perhaps less on the public's radar, however, is the potential threat in the draft opinion to the right to access and produce pornography. Roe v. Wade upheld the right to an abortion via one's right to privacy, which not only is protected by several amendments, the 1st, 4th, 5th, 9th, and 14th specifically, but has also been utilized in Supreme Court cases beyond the 1973 decision. If that precedent is no longer there, however, Americans' digital privacy could be at risk, including for people who make and watch pornography. One such case where this right was cited is Stanley versus Georgia,
Stanley.
which actually
Fuck
predated
Georgia.
Roe by 4 years. When police searched through Robert Stanley's home for bookmaking or betting materials, they found reels of pornographic film. The Supreme Court decided that given the right to privacy, Stanley was allowed to own porn in his own home.
Yay, Stanley.
He was also protected under the First Amendment right of freedom of expression. The same general legal principle in Roe applies to any sort of sexual expression that you might possess in your home, explained Mike Stable.
Here's the flaw in the argument. Here's the flaw in the argument. Hang on. Here's the flaw in the fucking argument. Do you hear all these guys? All of these rights are in the Constitution. The right to expression, the right to the right to privacy, the right. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The right to privacy, the right to the right to expression, the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. These are all in the Constitution. You know what's not in the Constitution? The right to an abortion. Do you know what gives people rights? Do you know how you change the Constitution? It's called an act of Congress. You get your Congress people. This is their fucking job, by the way. The legislature is supposed to legislate, which means Congress, Senate, and the House are supposed to make laws. And they make laws and they can amend the Constitution, and they are the only ones that can do that. The executive branch, the president, he can't do that. What he can do is he can take a pen and he can write shit. The problem with that is the next president can take a pen and he can write shit, changing the shit that was changed, that was written before. The same thing can happen with the Supreme Court. If you rest everything on a court decision and fucking leave it for 40 goddamn years, you're leaving it in fucking danger. So instead of fucking doing something, taking this one stepping stone and moving forward and changing the federal law, no, everybody just, and then they pushed it farther and farther and farther. And now abortion is a right, reproductive. You know what happens when you give, when you enact the right to abortion into the Constitution? This is what happens. You can't give rights to half the population. Can't be done. So you've got to give rights to everybody. Guess what? That gives men the right to an abortion. Men, it's their wallet. It should be their choice. If she has a baby and she has an abortion, I got nothing I can fucking say about it. But if I want the abortion, I still got to fucking shell out for the next 21 fucking years. It's all bullshit. Let's get the fucking laws changed the right way. Do the fucking work instead of resting on your goddamn laurels. No one would, this country would go into a goddamn revolution if they took porn away from us, because men are the ones that know how to use the guns. Thank you.
Okay. While you're not wrong, that is the problem. You've described the problem. It's not the flaw in the argument, but it is the problem. Yes, that is
the flaw in the argument against porno, though. The right to porno has so many umbrellas of the Constitution over it.
But they're all precariously parked, because there's also talk of decency that's already part of the legal code. So the issue here is how all of this stuff kind of builds a precarious house of cards in general. Sex worker advocates and porn industry experts say that overturning Roe can be a slippery slope. The biggest immediate risk is that, as with abortion...
How do I get that job? Porn industry expert.
Doesn't seem like a difficult thing to do.
That doesn't sound like a bad job. That sounds like a pretty good job. It's like,
I just need to figure out how to get paid for it.
Listen, this I figured out what the porn industry, what they do is they make videos of people fucking, and then they distribute those videos of people fucking so other people can masturbate.
You know who gets paid the most money?
The women.
The people who distribute the films.
No, I don't know about that, but probably, but the male porn stars who do gay porn get paid more than any other porn star.
Because
Stanley, how much do you get paid per gay porn versus per straight porn?
Not enough. I might have to go to the other side.
Well, my understanding is a lot of guys are gay for pay. They're not actually gay. They just do gay porn because the money's great. Which
they're not actually gay. They just like other dudes.
Yeah,
there's
they claim they're gay for pay. They're not actually gay. They just get hard and fuck other guys for the money.
There was a wrestler for WWE, and he went on a couple of homophobic rants, and then it came out shortly after these homophobic rants that he himself did some gay porn.
Isn't it always like that?
Mm-hmm. And it's
okay. So then he's okay. He's fine. That's fine. And here's why. He tried it. He didn't like it. Can't hold that against the guy.
Okay.
Oh, he tried the shit out of it. I'll tell you that. he tried it all. He tried it all the way.
My wife is asking me if I want snacks. I absolutely do. I need to answer this text.
Okay.
I want
not
snacks.
A big deal because your video's not moving anyway.
No, we're all lagging, or I don't know. It might be my connection. I don't fucking know.
I no, everybody on my screen is pretty much not moving.
I just think it's crazy that we're all like when Maddie sent that meme to us in that group chat, we're all just a bunch of fucking molecules on a floating rock over here fighting other
No, it doesn't make any sense.
for molecule
That doesn't
rights
make any
in a
fucking
floating
sense.
rock with bajillions of universes around us. Like, who gives a fuck? It's so stupid. None of this is real. None of this is real.
I think I'm finally
What's
having
the
an
next
effect
story?
I'm finally having an effect on Juliet. Look at the way she's taking
I've
control.
been saying
It sounds
this.
like you've corrupted Juliet.
Yes,
No,
it does.
Juliet has already been corrupted with all this fucking shit already
What's
years
the-
before.
What's the next story there, Mike?
Well, apparently, even though he can't speak, they found a way to keep Val Kilmer in the new Top Gun movie because he really wanted to be in it, and he begged to let him in. So when
Did he beg? I thought they were like, no. I thought it was like I thought it was the decision of the producers.
Well, when
That's why I liked the story so much, because I thought it was cute.
When Top Gun Maverick premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in France last week, viewers gave the action movie a 5-minute standing ovation. The movie, releasing nationwide in the U.S. on May 27th, comes 36 years after the original and stars a few of the original cast members, including Tom Cruise, who won the coveted Palme d'Or at Cannes, whatever that means. Apparently, it's a nice trophy that you win when you go to the Cannes Film Festival. The original focused on U.S. Naval Aviator Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Cruise, and Lieutenant Tom Iceman Kazansky, played by Val Kilmer, one of Top Gun's students and Maverick's rivals turned wingman. But many things have happened since 1986. In a sad twist, Kilmer, now 62, can no longer speak as his voice was lost after a tracheotomy in 2014 following a throat cancer diagnosis. Then again, it is the 21st century, and the filmmakers wanted to be sure that they could include Kilmer, so they found a high-tech way to work around the fact that he can't speak. A British artificial intelligence company has recreated the actor's voice with an amazingly realistic result. London-based firm Sonantic used his voice recordings from throughout his career, which were fed to their AI to create the lifelike yet artificial mock-up. The new technology means Kilmer may be able to star in other movies and regain his voice in his personal life too. Film producers could potentially use the tool described as Photoshop for voice for voiceovers if they have a role in mind that would be suited to Val's tones. Val himself is also able to use the AI tool in his personal life to help him communicate rather than rely on a voice box to speak.
That's awesome. I think that's
so
a great.
cool.
Yeah.
I love
That
that.
is
Why can't Val Kilmer speak?
He had a tracheotomy.
throat
He had a
cancer.
trach removal,
His
throat cancer.
his larynx was damaged between throat cancer and a tracheotomy to help him breathe at that point.
So he has a box or he has nothing?
He has a
He
box.
has a
Yeah.
box.
He has a box.
Okay.
But I guess he just went and like lip synced his lines, and they typed them in. I just think that's really fucking cool, and I'm a big Val Kilmer fan. I mean, two of the greatest movies ever made had Val Kilmer in them. The Doors, great fucking movie. Yeah. He played Jim Morrison, he nailed that fucking role. That was early. That was one of his first roles.
Yeah.
He also played the villain in MacGruber. MacGruber is one of the greatest movies you will ever fucking see in your goddamn life. Made in 2010. It's a genius movie. And Peacock has a MacGruber series. So there you can watch the movie.
Yeah.
You can watch the movie and then still giggle through the series. But if you want a Matty Rock Def recommendation, MacGruber is up there with, to me, MacGruber ranks up there with Drowning Mona, Dirty Work, and Kingpin. That's how fucking good MacGruber is.
They're all good movies.
Those are all fucking phenomenal movies. Those are all A+ films.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you pointed me at Drowning Mona. That I stumbled on that after you had mentioned it, and that movie was fantastic. I loved it.
She tore her ovaries. What are you gonna fucking do? That's my great dude. VHS. I'll never forget watching that movie on VHS. And she's that woman's in the bar, and there's the one scene. She's like, "What are you gonna fucking do? Hit me?" And then somebody pops her right in the fucking head, right in the fucking face, and she goes straight down. I rewound out that part 15 fucking times. That's how funny that goddamn part was. So yeah, I'm glad Val Kilmer can still interact with us. So because
I'm a little afraid of this technology.
Yeah, I'm not real happy about it myself.
I think it's actually great.
It's great.
Well, anything can be anything, but you can say that with anything, though. I think,
but dude, you can. I mean, you can
because with stuff like this, it really helps people with medical stuff and all of that. You guys got to look into CRISPR. Have you guys heard about that?
A lot of things have to do with being able to duplicate your voice and give your information. What it means is that it will make impersonating you a lot easier.
It's like deep fake, though. Like we already have that out, you know.
That's the point I was going to make. We already have technology that makes it easier. This at least gives him gives him a little bit of interaction. No, I see there's a slippery slope there. I can see what Big Daddy's saying is dangerous. However, I wonder if the AI reads his lips and just predicts what he's going to say. That'd be cool.
Or maybe
if he types it in, types it in like
yeah, but you got to type real fast.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
That's why I think they should just jack it in. Maybe there's some kind of plug that they can set up on him.
That's what I was gonna. That's why I mentioned CRISPR. It's this technology stuff that they're working on in the medical field, and basically what it is like it manipulates certain things. So like you can get this thing installed in your brain, and what it does is like if you're paralyzed, you'll not be paralyzed anymore. If you're deaf, you won't be deaf anymore. If all these medical miracle things, I've been learning about it for like, I don't know, for like the last like.
Could you imagine if somebody else? Could you imagine if somebody else took control of your like CRISPR?
No, nobody else can.
I don't want to give you a hand job. Hey.
Anything can be hacked.
Oh, it hooks through Bluetooth? Okay.
Oh my God.
Then they hook it up to Pornhub. What the hell? All right. And Walmart has decided they're going to celebrate Juneteenth.
Yeah, Walmart is definitely in on the June. They were all in on Juneteenth, but now they're apologizing and they're pulling their Juneteenth ice cream because there's apparently been a little bit of backlash. Apparently, ice cream is not what everybody wants at their Juneteenth party. Walmart pulled Juneteenth ice cream from its freezers and apologized Tuesday after social media backlash and accusations of commercializing a holiday meant to commemorate the end of American slavery. The retail giant was set to sell swirled red velvet and cheesecake ice cream in a container adorned with Pan-African colors and an image of two black hands high-fiving each other.
So, okay, now when I first saw I didn't see the recall before, and then I saw this story, and I was thinking to myself, this must be the Illuminati trying to apologize for banning menthol cigarettes. But then I thought to myself, they're a white bitch thought this up. And a white bitch.
I guarantee it definitely was.
And her only qualifications is that she fucks black dudes. That's it.
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep.
And then she's like, ooh,
ice
cream. Yay. Ooh.
She's like,
they're
gonna
be all inclusive, guys.
They're gonna love this.
First of all, I got into an argument with Mike earlier. Not an argument. But Mike and I were discussing this particular story because I think that us and
which
the
is
listeners,
hilarious when you think about it. So two white guys were discussing Juneteenth.
Yes.
Well, we were discussing how wrong it is that they went with a red velvet and cheesecake ice cream for starters.
First of all, ice
better
cream.
than watermelon and
that leads to my first question.
No.
Flavor, is it the flavor or the fact that they did it the problem?
I think the fact that they did it's the problem because the first
No.
thing I want to do when I get freed from slavery is not eat ice cream.
Are you sure? Ice
No.
cream's pretty good.
Ice cream is delicious. Listen, but
No,
here's the
first
point.
I want to taste free pussy. That's the first thing I want to taste. Ice cream will be later.
Write that down on our flavors list.
Free pussy.
It tastes like hope.
Because but it doesn't taste like change unless it tastes like pennies. Then she's about to menstruate.
This is true. This
Well,
is true.
what Walmart should be doing if they want to push this Juneteenth thing, right? They should be supporting Black entrepreneurs who create things for Juneteenth or whatever it is.
Right.
So-
They're not doing that.
Target has a number
Let's-
of Black-owned, Black-created ice creams that Target will
Yeah.
then put in their stores and support.
Yeah, I
would
walk
have been
I walk
better.
past those all the time.
Put the money back into
like Rap Snacks.
the Black
Right.
people. So like Rap Snacks.
So, so what you're saying is, if the Waltons weren't white people, this would be different.
Yeah, it'd be a little different.
How
Walmart,
brown would the Waltons need to be for this to be okay?
the Waltons need to be so brown. The Waltons need to look brown on paper. Like if it ain't Jamal Walton, like I don't want it.
Or Tyrone.
Like Tyrone
Well,
Walton, the
John Boy-
motherfucking fourth. Like
John
that's what
Boy
I
had
want.
that giant mole on his face, and it was pretty dark.
I mean, it's not called Smith Smart. It's called Walmart.
All right, that took me a second.
I still don't get it.
Smith being a common last name for Black people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me a second.
All right.
So,
But
So-
my whole theory is that it's not it's the whole thing is piss poorly conceived because where me and Mike were going was I said that a large proportion of African Americans are lactose intolerant.
There's that too.
That's fair. Yes.
I think
Yes,
it's
but then
73% of Black people are lactose intolerant, and then with like Latin communities, like 57%.
There you go. So then Mike said that sounded like my eugenics bullshit.
There is a large percentage of lactose intolerant Black folk because we weren't given the cow's milk. We weren't given milk. And then the Black mother's milk was given to the white babies. So the Black women were the wet nurses. So the ones that went malnourished were Black kids. So not only did we not get the cow's milk, we didn't get the breast milk either, which is why
you
that
can't eat cheese.
intolerance gene passed through.
So and a large proportion of the African American community is diabetic, correct? Diabetes runs rampant through the African American community.
Also true, which makes fatty ice cream a double fuck you. Yeah.
Also, heart disease runs rampant,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Indeed,
Through the African American community, does it not?
it does.
It does. So ice
As does
cream.
police brutality.
Well, we can't package that into a flavor.
All right, fair enough.
It's sort of like Newport flavored ice cream. Does anybody really want that? I mean, really, isn't that just a rebranding of mint chocolate chip, though?
Oh, I love mint chocolate chip. Come on.
I am
smoke
another.
Newports too.
That tracks. That tracks.
So I was thinking that we could, as a group, do a better job pandering and profiteering from Juneteenth.
So, yeah. What would be a good Juneteenth souvenir?
I don't know. Like, I feel like a watermelon mint sorbet. It's low fat. It's watermelon and mint go well together.
No added sugar if we want.
No, you could not add sugar. Watermelon's delicious all by itself.
You could no white.
Yes,
tears.
it is.
White tears.
White
Absolutely.
tears.
What tears?
White tears. That's the
Just-
flavor I want to see.
Vanilla
Would you-
and privilege.
Would you want like actual Caucasian tears, or is there a happy flavor that you would just call white tears?
It's probably going to have to be like a watermelon derivative, but it has to have a certain percentage of actual white people tears mixed into it.
Now, would you want the white people to mix it without pay and cry to produce those tears? Or, I mean, because, I mean, we're coming up with these products. We can find some white people under duress so that they cry to stir the sorbet.
Yeah, it definitely can't be white people going along with it. Like, they can't be fake tears. They got to be real, actual tears, and not tears of joy either. I'll take as a second runner-up. Let's call it. Well, that doesn't work. I was gonna call it Masses Milk, but that doesn't sound that doesn't work. Masses. I want like Masses Blood. See, that's too much though. It's a little bit too much. I gotta think about that one. Something massive themed.
Okay, we can move on. So, like, 4th of July, we've got sparklers and firecrackers and things. Is there anything like that you think Juneteenth should embrace? I mean, we really, this will only be our second Juneteenth. We really don't know how to celebrate it yet.
I would love
not a big
to
tradition
see
yet.
the Juneteenth celebration. Give me 24 hours of what's that movie where everything is lawless for like 24 hours?
Oh my God, The Purge.
Purge. So I want Juneteenth to be celebrated by African American purging on white people for 24 hours.
And you think that's fair?
I think that's fair. 400 years versus 24 hours. I think that's fair.
What about reparations?
Oh no, this is separate.
Okay.
This is purely celebratory. This isn't this isn't repairing anything. And then after 400 years of this yearly purge, then we'll talk about ending it and then doing something different. I feel like that's fair.
But it doesn't seem like a good way to end all the animosity.
Oh, it'll end the animosity one way or another.
I'm sitting here keeping my mouth shut because
Stanley is choosing violence as he should, being an Aries.
Stanley is choosing violence. I'll tell you what, give me violence for 24 hours. I can take care of a lot of animosity in 24 hours.
I'm going to move on from this after I say, you know what that would do, Stan? That would wake up the white people real quick.
Yes, it would.
There'd be a lot less, let's say, people calling for to coexist at that point.
At all, ever.
You would have, that would cause such a disharmony in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that would be.
I feel like we'd go right back to wake up, white people.
Balance. Find some balancing real quick. All of a sudden, I can get over in traffic. That good morning is going to have a lot less bass in his voice. He knows that purge day is tomorrow. Hey, Steven, guess what tomorrow is? Oh, hey, Big Daddy, I brought you a Snickers bar for absolutely no reason. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. By the way, here's a picture of my wife. She would love to suck your dick tomorrow.
I know that
that's a good solution.
African American people can be, an intimidating culture, and violence is often, often an easy solution. But white people will kill you in your sleep, tie you to a chair, and eat your dick in front of you.
Or a truck.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that has happened.
White people are pretty fucked up. Like the Europeans in general are just fuck. Look up 15th century torture devices.
I
Really
have
dirty too.
I have seen a lot. The one that I like is the splitter, the one where you're sitting on a triangle basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just screws open. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vlad the Impaler used to put his enemies on a large sharpened pole, shove this pole up their ass, and then he would hoist the pole in the air, stick it in the ground, and the weight of their own body would go through their intestines. He thought that up. Like,
Yeah,
he had that
idea.
idea. He had that idea. He's like, what's a good idea?
How long do you think a gay guy enjoyed that process?
I don't think
30 seconds.
At best.
Right, because at first he's like, "Oh, thank you," and then
just about until they lifted him up.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, on the other side of this, we have Big Daddy with his segment, Just the Tips. And then in C Block, we're going to be playing I Wish I Didn't Know That.
Yay.
As a threesome, because we thought we had another person.
That is true.
Yay.
Right. So, like the guy just said, when we come back in the B Block, it'll be Just the Tips with a much happier Big Daddy. And we'll talk about some more news right after this.
I like that outro. I do.
All right, we're in break.
I think you made Maddie uncomfortable.
No, the connection tonight absolutely fucking sucks.
Yeah.
The connection and hearing his rant is one thing. Hearing it in slow motion is like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, it was normal for me because you were sitting back and you were like, I was like, I think Maddie's very uncomfortable right now.
No, I was fine. I was just.
I think he's like sending subliminal messages that he wants to come after you guys. Not me, but you guys.
Oh, what? I'm
in Rhode Island. I'm in Rhode Island.
Nah, she's on the good list.
You fuck a black guy. She's on the
that's how you get on the safe list. So y'all got some work to do.
I've fucked some black guys. Maybe not the right way. I've fucked some black guys.
My wife's father. My wife's father took a ancestry test, and he's 48% sub-Saharan African. So that
like
makes
Puerto Rican.
That's sub-Saharan African.
I know,
so
but isn't he Puerto Rican though?
Doesn't matter. He's black according to his genetics.
Yeah, I mean that's
because
who do you think inhabited the island before?
Is no one listening to me?
That's right.
Yes, he is Puerto Rican.
Okay, that's why he's that much black.
No shit. Right, but that makes my wife red bone, and I'm on the good list. Thank you.
I don't know if I would consider her red bone, but we're gonna go with that one.
All right. I thought it had to be 8%, at least 8%.
That only puts her on the good list.
But so she's on the good list because she fucks a black dude.
Wait,
what?
Who's the black dude that she's fucking?
I thought it was her dad.
No.
No.
You said Juliet. You said Juliet was on the good list.
Yeah, but you're taking the black chicks. That's a problem.
No, wait a minute.
Yes, there's a double standard.
What in the fuckery? No. You can't just fuck somebody and then, continue on your way of your bullshit. You got to learn the history and understand it and unlearn all your own bullshit. There's
All
differences.
right, here's what we'll do. For each purge day, you gotta blow a black dude. Every purge day, in order to be safe, you gotta blow a black dude.
Who?
To Maddie, to completion,
No,
momentarily.
Just him. Just him.
I'll take this. I'll take
him
what's
on for the
behind
team.
door number 2.
You gonna take
That's
the
fine.
You take the purge.
I'll take the purge. I'll sit up in my attic with whatever arms I happen to have, and we'll see how it goes.
Here's my wallet. Raid my home.
All right, what if it wasn't to completion, but it was almost?
I'm not touching a dick for anyone. For anyone, for any reason, I'm not touching a dick.
What if it was for your wife?
What if a gay burglar comes into your home and he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill every fucking person in the house unless I get my dick sucked. And then of course your wife jumps up and she's like, no, sweetie, I'll do it. No. And then he's like, I want you, Mr. Man. Are you gonna be like, I got this, sweetie?
No, he would call him Mr. Grizzly Man.
Are you gonna step up and take that? Or are you gonna let the gay man?
Are you gonna take one for the team, Maddie? Do it
Gay
for your
burglar.
wife.
I mean, I might.
Booty.
I mean,
Gay burglar
honestly,
wants a booty. What are you gonna do?
in the hypothetical situation that a man breaks into my home, threatening my family,
But we'll leave for a blowjob.
but will leave for a blowjob. First of all, I got a couple of jagged, broken teeth in the back. So,
What if he pulled all your teeth out?
Hair. You also have long hair, so he can pull it into a ponytail. You know
let's
what I'm
move
saying?
on. Let's go.
What if,
Come on.
What if he removed your teeth in your sleep because he drugged you so you couldn't wake up, and then you woke up and then he was like, listen, Mr. Grizzly Man with no teeth.
Or he's on meth, so he don't care.
That's why he took his teeth, because he needed new teeth.
Gay dude breaks in your house, wants your booty. What are you gonna do?
And we're back on the Media Virus podcast, heading into the B block with Dr. Dre's Just the Tips.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Podcast. It is I, the one and only Big Daddy Dr. Dre, coming to you, taking full advantage of my degree in big dickology from the U of V, coming to you with another installment of Just the Tips. Tonight's tip number 1: change up your goddamn sex positions. The same position at every encounter is fucking boring. Think about it. Do you eat only Frosted Flakes for breakfast every goddamn morning? The same goddamn position every fucking time we fucking? Boring. Change that shit up. There is no good excuse for not changing up your positions. If you fat, fine. Be fat from behind. You got one leg, you can have one leg on your stomach. If you're lazy, it's cool. Just let them know which of your slutty, sexy best friends is available. If you don't know any other positions, Google that shit. All right? This is 2022, and the internet is literally in your goddamn pocket. Number 2 for today: spend less time talking, more time fucking. Date that we men are not aware of. At some point in time, we are going to have our last erection, with or without medicinal intervention. So ladies, take advantage of it. Gentlemen, if you swing that way, take advantage of it. Dicks have an expiration date. Spend more time fucking. You can spend 2, 3, 4 hours in bed talking about regular and random bullshit like I like to rant on and on and on about, then you and your mouth ain't tired. Stop talking and suck that dick. You're literally the only one who's supposed to be doing it, right? Right? Fucking right? Then do it already. Suck that dick. Number 3 for tonight. We want to see your titties. All the time. All the time. All the time. The millionth time we see your titties is just as exciting as the first time. So, ladies, unleash them puppies. Show us them titties. We want to see them. Every time. Every time? Every time. One and only Dr. Dre, Media Virus Podcast, just the tips.
And that was Big Daddy with just the tips here on the Media Virus Podcast, episode number 81. Here we are in the B block, folks. We're going to do some more news.
I love Just the Tips. It's my favorite segment right now. I feel like
It's a great segment. I love it.
it's a really good refresher.
And it's a good start with it. It's a good way to come into the B block. I've really enjoyed coming into the B block with just the tips.
Yep.
All right, I'll keep at it then.
I hope so.
As a matter of fact, if you need advice, if you need a tip from Big Daddy, you can call us, leave us a message at 646-virus01. We have an email address that we never give the fuck out. What is it?
The email address that you want to send to, if you want to reach us here on the Media Virus Podcast, is, bear with me just a moment. I don't want to get this wrong. It's, where does it show me? Ooh. Bear with me just a second. Here we go. We'll do this. There we go. It is.
Just the Tips makes me feel like I'm going to have a stronger marriage every time I hear one of those videos.
0 lies detected.
It's media.virus.whole@gmail.com.
Media.virus.whole.
Hole?
Hole. Like asshole.
Is it HOLE or WHOLE?
HOLE. Like it's the media
Like booty
virus.
hole.
It's the hole that you put your email in. The media virus hole. Media.virus.whole@gmail.com.
All right. Well, let's cruise into this next segment, Mike.
Well, it turns out that you can cruise the world cheaper than you can retire in Seattle. A couple in Seattle, Washington decided the cost of living there was just too damn high, and their solution was to ship out and stay. Because now they're pretty much living full-time on a cruise ship. Richard and Angeline Burke were fed up with shelling out $3,500 a month for basics, which did not include food, transportation, or entertainment. So they started thinking, we love to travel. We love cruising the oceans, and lo and behold, it's way cheaper. They figured it would cost them $100 a day on a cruise ship, and that's all in. So 51-year-old Richard, who had just retired as a computer programmer in 2019, and his 53-year-old wife hopped on board a cruise ship and pretty much stayed there, calling the ocean liner their home. They do become landlubbers in between cruises, and they usually stay in Airbnbs or hotels. They're currently on land, but will hop on board again in July for back-to-back cruises that will last for 9 months. As for where they've gone, they've taken the Carnival cruise to the Mexican Riviera and a Holland America cruise to the Panama Canal, among other destinations.
Wow.
Yo, I want to do that. That sounds like
Really
fucking
cool.
fun. I have so much Sagittarius in my chart where, like, if I can just travel and just go do some spontaneous shit, I would love that.
If I could have, if I had,
Right? If I had the money, fuck
If I
it,
had an
will
income
soon,
stream
a couple of
that I-
months.
like a retired person, if I had an basic income stream that I could make this work for, I would be all about this.
I think this is my new idea because I was talking about leaving this fucking country today, and I'm serious about it too. I could homeschool my kids. My husband's about to have an IT job, so he'll be working remote, and they make really good money. Why not? I'm going to put that on my new options.
There you go.
Now,
cruise around the fucking world.
Couple of things you have to be aware of.
None of this is real, so it doesn't even matter. We're on a giant floating rock.
The internet while you're at sea can be problematic because it can be expensive because it has to be satellite. Because once you get away from land, the internet goes
Wi-Fi.
away. Right. You'll have Wi-Fi, but that's only on shipboard. You still have to get out to the internet.
Yo, I would just love to travel and go to like Airbnbs and all of that. Go to Mexico, Guatemala, Thailand.
Shit like diarrhea and flu and
Legionnaire's
COVID.
disease.
Yeah.
You guys are so pessimistic.
Could you imagine though, like, all right, so you have say you have a month between, cruises and you have to stay in Airbnb.
That'd be
And
fun.
you're like, you find this little place in Wilmington, Delaware, and then it fucking collapses. And then and now the Department of Justice is investigating the guy that you were. Now what are you gonna do? You gave him all your money. And you got nowhere to live.
Stuck in fucking Delaware. Yeah.
As it turns out, the DOJ will investigate the recidivist Wilmington landlord after the North Adams Street apartments have been condemned. Delaware's Attorney General Kathy Jennings announced Thursday the state Department of Justice will be launching an investigation into recidivist Wilmington landlord Adolph J. Pokorny.
Who the fuck? Who names their kid Adolf?
Okay, I was just
in the
gonna
past
say the same thing.
75 fucking years.
Right.
Mr. and Mrs. Pokorny.
It's Hitler had a brother in the States. Hitler had family in the States. They all changed their last name.
Yeah.
Who would fucking name their kid Adolf? Like, it doesn't.
I actually, I used to know a guy lived around the corner here from me, Ben Braun, and Ben would occasionally mention that his cousin, Ava, who pronounced the family name Brown, lived in Germany and had a famous boyfriend. So yeah, his cousin was Ava Brown.
For the longest time, my father thought he was related to Himmler. And that was a huge point of pride for him.
Well, that's, what are you going to do?
It's been debunked. It's not really true.
Ben wasn't like all excited about it. Like he went off, he fought in World War II and was happy that he did. But, he said it was a little weird knowing that was the case. It was one of those things that was kept hush hush.
Did he his name was Brown or Braun?
Here he said they pronounced it Braun, but in Germany that's Brown.
Yeah. Did he fight in the European theater or did he fight in Japan?
He was in the European. Ben was in the European theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Because usually they sent the German dudes to the Pacific, and they sent the Asian dudes to Europe.
Well, he wasn't that. The line wasn't that close as far as the part of the family that was here had been here for a while, so it wasn't like he was a native German speaker or anything. But there were cases where they used the native German speakers in the European theater because they were in fact
they were German speakers.
And if you have a native speaker, it's a lot easier to slide in. But following the condemnation of 27 apartment units declared unfit for human habitation along North Adams Street on May 16th, Jennings said his past offenses are being reconsidered. We are working closely with our partners at the City of Wilmington as we launch a full investigation, said the Attorney General Jennings. My heart goes out to the tenants and families who were affected.
Which one of you is
towering
building a
ordeal.
fucking bookshelf in the background? Who's building a shelf right now?
What?
There's noise.
There's noise like someone's about to start running a jackhammer or something. There is so much goddamn noise.
I don't hear
I'm about to
anything.
jackhammer as soon as this shit's over with.
Maybe that's it. Is there a woman reinforcing a box spring behind door number 2 at your house, Stanley? I think that may be what we're hearing.
Let me put myself on mute, see if it.
Yep, no bookshelves. No bookshelf.
Was it him?
Go take her hammer away.
Bitch!
So do we know what his...
did I tell you about that shit?
What the fuck?
Do we know what this guy's charges were, Adolf?
Well, I mean, he's been cited a number of times for not keeping up his rental properties. They don't go into specifics, but he was also subject to a DOJ consent order in 2002, and those offenses will be weighed in the current investigation. So 20 years ago, he was cited for having shitty properties. My guess is they're going to find out that maybe some of them are the same properties. Maybe.
Probably. Fucking asshole.
And, you know, I did see where they did talk about this guy, and the sad part is one of the tenants who was being put out said, unfortunately, this guy is a necessary evil. Like, we know that it's shitty, but it's what we can afford, and he'll work with us. Like, if we're going to be a little late on the rent, he'll work with us and let us pay late. Or, you know.
Yeah, because he's breaking fucking huge laws.
Right. So, I mean, like she's saying, he's a necessary evil. Otherwise, they would be put out on the street. They wouldn't have a place to stay. So, like,
That's
it's
terrible.
a necessary evil that you have a substandard place to stay because you can maintain it and look the other way on some of the things that should be done versus be able to cover the rent somewhere else and have a nice place every month. It's sad. It really is. And he should be thrashed within an inch of his life.
Well, he should rot in hell, and so should the governor of Delaware, John Carney. John Carney should rot in fucking hell. And if you live in Delaware, vote this fucking dumbass out.
Yeah, I don't know about rot. I'm not sure about rot in hell, but yes, you should definitely vote him out because apparently he feels that his opinion is better than yours. Governor John Carney has vetoed House Bill 371, legislation that would remove all penalties for possession of 1 ounce or less of marijuana for a person aged 21 or older. The legislation would have also ensured that there are no criminal or civil penalties for transfers without remuneration of 1 ounce or less of marijuana between persons aged 21 or older. So basically, you could pass marijuana back and forth and have it. They worked out a means of the particulars for sale and all of that for actual legal sales, but they were getting rid of all the civil and criminal penalties for actually having it and maybe giving it to somebody else. Here's Carney's statement that he released, which is what makes me sad. I recognize the positive effect marijuana can have for people with certain health conditions, and for that reason, I continue to support the medical marijuana industry in Delaware. I supported decriminalization of marijuana because I agree that individuals should not be imprisoned solely for the possession and private use of a small amount of marijuana. And today, thanks to Delaware's decriminalization law, they are not. That said, I do not believe that promoting or expanding the use of recreational marijuana is in the best interests of the state of Delaware, especially our young people. Questions about the long-term health and economic impacts of recreational marijuana use, as well as serious law enforcement concerns, remain unresolved. Basically, he's saying, I feel like my opinion matters more than the opinion of 60% of the people in Delaware.
Yeah, no, fuck him. For the children, get fucked. get every goddamn excuses for the, what about our fucking young people? Our young people drink. Our young people smoke fucking pot. Our young people are fucking doing heroin. Young people are gonna do what the fuck they want to do. It doesn't matter. But if I have to walk into a fucking store, dude, when I was a young people, it was easier for me to get pot than it was for me to get fucking liquor. And there were liquor stores in every goddamn corner, but I had to go find somebody willing to fucking, buy liquor for an 11-year-old. You know how fucking hard that is? Thank God when I turned 15, I fucking had a full beard. I could fucking walk in and just buy beer. What do normal kids do?
House Bill 371 passed the House and Senate earlier this month and now returns to the House without the governor's signature. Representative Ed Osinski, with the Delaware House of Representatives, issued the statement on Tuesday's veto. Unfortunately, the governor has chosen to ignore the will of the residents and bipartisan supermajority of the General Assembly by vetoing House Bill 371. I am deeply disappointed in his decision, especially since he could have allowed the bill to become law without his signature, which would have preserved both his personal opposition and the will of the residents and legislators. I will review what options are available and decide on any next steps at a later time. Vetoing House Bill 371 will not stop people from obtaining and consuming marijuana. It simply means they could face civil penalties for possession. We have to look no further than New Jersey to see how a new industry can create jobs and generate revenue. Sales reached nearly $2 million on its first day. Until we establish a similar market in Delaware, people will continue to obtain marijuana illegally here through the illicit market and or send tax revenue across the Delaware Memorial Bridge to New Jersey.
And actually both, because if you go across the bridge and bring it here, that's illicit.
Yes.
And you're giving tax revenue to fucking New Jersey.
Yes.
And if you get caught, if you get caught by the transportation authority on the bridge, you're facing federal charges.
Yes.
Don't forget that still federally, it's a problem.
And when you cross a state line, that becomes a federal offense.
That becomes exactly, it becomes a federal offense. Also, Delaware has gone as far as to ban the sale of Delta 8 products in the state. So you have to go to either, they're not popular in New Jersey because you can buy real weed, but you have to go to Pennsylvania and, pay tax on there if you so choose. People in Philadelphia can literally order it and have it delivered to them. Yep. So just so you know, I know this for a fact. I know a person who lives in Philadelphia can literally go on a website, order Delta 8 vape, and have it delivered. And the shit works. It's just this decision is ridiculous, and he's just posturing for. I don't know who he's posturing for, because this is what the people want. So we can tell John Carney what we think of him this next election cycle.
Yes, the same majority.
Lining his pockets.
And I believe that's the medical. I believe that's the medical marijuana industry. I believe that they want to keep a lockdown on what they're doing, because if there's a recreational
right, they become much less important.
They're much less important, and they don't necessarily have to deal with, if you have your prescription, you don't necessarily now have to go to a dispensary. If there's recreational dispensaries, you can just go to the recreational joint and buy what you need, assuming that they have the products that you're interested in, which right now the medical industry has it locked up. So I believe that the medical marijuana lobby has leaned on him, or the law enforcement lobby has leaned on him, because the law enforcement lobby is pushing for the fact that there is not a viable instantaneous intoxication test for marijuana at this point. They're working on some tests that may be viable, but there's not a viable field test for marijuana intoxication, partly because marijuana intoxication is subjective. Some people become very intoxicated. Some people do not become very intoxicated, and different strains and types of marijuana products
have different effects.
They affect people differently, and the fact is, overall, it is a subjective intoxication. I've talked to some officers who claim to be able to, I can be in your presence for 15 seconds and know whether you're high or not, and what you've done and how high you are. Well, great. Maybe you think you can, but maybe not. And your subjective opinion of my subjective intoxication, I don't buy that either. Frankly, I'm not a fan of the idea of being intoxicated to operate a vehicle at all. I don't think that getting high and going for a drive is the right thing to do. I think if you're going to you use at home, and that's it. Or, when you're locked down in a place, and you're not going to go drive. Just like when you go for a drink, you don't say, I'm going to get all drunked up and take a ride. So that's that.
You had a different childhood than I did.
Shut up.
I was having a conversation. I used to live
We're live streaming right now.
I used to live right above my landlord, and he was an old Polish guy, and he was always drinking. He drank Busch. He was always drinking. And we were talking about this vacation that we were planning on taking, and we were going to, rent a car, and we were going to, go to, I forget where we were going. And I was talking about ordering like a little sports car. He's like, no. What you do is you get a big Lincoln, because you need a cooler between you, because you're going to have a few beers on the ride. And he's like, you got to keep your beer cold, dude, on a road trip like that. I was, dude, in this one band I was in, the singer would show up. He was much older than me. He was about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was about 10 years. He was in his mid 40s at the time. He would show up and like he'd get out of his car and he'd be finishing his fucking Fosters, those big fucking Fosters.
Yeah, you call that a road soda.
Yeah. Now I never got in the car with him. That was because I won't drink. I won't.
Right.
There was one instance where I didn't realize that I did drink. I was drinking eggnog. I didn't realize how much was in it. Was driving home, and I pulled over and told my ex-wife, I'm like, you got to drive, because it just hit me.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember doing some. I'm not a fan of the drinking and driving. Now, as far as road tripping, drinking, I do like the idea of let's get a motor home and we can take turns being drunk and driving, and not doing either one at the same time.
Oh, I got confused.
Like you can drive and I'll be drunk, and then once I sober up, you can drink and I can drive.
Oh, okay.
Or let's all drink and drive. Just everybody take turns.
I drove drunk one time in my life. Only once. But I should have never done it. But I did just one time.
True. You should have never done it.
No, and I'm so against that too. Like I would never get in the car with somebody who was drinking. A lot of people I grew up with would do that, and I wouldn't get in the car. But I drove drunk one time. I was newly single, out of a very long-term relationship, and I was going through some shit. And this guy I used to work with, like, I don't remember. I don't know if we randomly bumped into each other or I told him to meet me there. I think I told him to meet me. Anyways, whatever. And I was like, yeah, we're going to hook up. And then we like stopped at his dorm room, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? So I got in the driver's seat after he got out the car, and I was in this like, I'm not doing this shit. So I left him. I don't know how he got home or whatever. But I left his ass, and I went home, and when I got in the door, I was like, I don't even know how the fuck I got home that night, because I was trashed.
Did he report the car stolen?
It was my car.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
He was driving. Right. I left him. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't drink and drive, kids. After this, we're coming right after this. We're going to play the game. I wish I didn't know that.
Yay.
All right. So You heard him. You haven't called yet, so please don't interrupt our game. But I will leave the phones open just in case you feel that like if we fucked up, you can call us. You can do that. But you can do that at 1646 virus 01. That's 1646 virus 01. We'll be in break here shortly, and we'll be right back with our favorite fun time game. I wish I didn't know that, with your favorite host. Who is it? Do we remember?
Dick Rockingham.
Dick Rockingham.
Dick Rockingham.
Hey, 300 points for Gryffindor.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus podcast. Mike's voice is always the first thing heard, and we wait for Mike to stop talking. I'm the host now. Here's the thing about the Media Virus podcast. Mike's voice, and we wait for Mike to stop talking. Stop. Here's the thing about the Media Virus podcast. Stop talking. I'm the host now.
The Media Virus Podcast, starring Maddie Rockdev. And we're in break.
I'm glad I drove drunk.
What? We're still broadcasting.
No, fuck that. I'm so glad I drove drunk and did not hook up with that guy.
You might have had the best sex of your life. You don't know.
No, I definitely would not have. Trust me. I know.
He might have come at you
No.
with hung like a stack of paint cans.
That doesn't
You
matter.
don't know.
I've seen some big dicks in my life. No, I no. I'm just kidding. I'm the Virgin Mary. I've never seen one in my life. Never touched one.
We've all seen your daughter.
Right-handed
You've
God.
posted pictures of your child.
I'm the new Mother Mary. I'm Mother Juliet. Mother Scorpion Goddess. It's even in my name.
Oh, I think my wife's home.
She gonna get naked again like she always does for you.
I hope so.
Tips from Big Daddy.
Maddie's about
Show
to see
the
some titties.
How we doing, Mike?
Not bad. I'm about to start the recording again.
All right.
I've got to get the video ready. I should probably line up game show music. You're under music. That's the one. And let's see.
What kind of snacks did she get?
So I knew you're not a fat girl.
I love do you guys not notice every time you see me?
Yeah,
I'm
your
always
stuff.
eating.
Yeah, again.
I'm always eating.
No wonder you're not a lot bigger.
I have a really fast metabolism. Let me just say that.
Well, you're going to be one of the contestants. Well, you're going to be one of the people on our infomercial.
Okay.
Hello, beautiful.
What snacks did she get?
She got Taco Bell.
Oh, nice.
She
What-
probably got me a $5 box. She might have got me two $5 boxes, and I know that I see a Baja Blast. I'm hoping is a Baja
I want
Blast.
a Baja
Zero.
Blast.
You
I'm
got
gonna
me
send
Baja
Devontae to get me a Baja Blast.
and a Crunch Wrap.
You got a beefy 5-layer burrito.
A beefy 5-layer burrito.
Hey,
And here come the titties. Oh,
He's beefy.
you know what I really
Why
like
do
from
you
Taco Bell?
this?
The potatoes.
Those
that
their
they give
titties.
You know the potatoes that they give you with the cheese and it's so good.
all right. Let's start. Let's go. Come on,
Ah,
because I want to get to eating.
Let's see,
he
titties.
wants
Hold on. I
his Taco
lost
Bell.
my place. Somebody said titties.
Maddie,
okay.
you should eat Taco Bell off of her boobs
On the show.
on the show. See if she would consent to it.
Babe, everybody had, Juliet suggested that I for the show I eat Taco Bell off of your boobs.
For the show.
it. For the show. I mean, we might catch a strike.
That's sounds real. My tits are on camera-ish, and your show doesn't pay money.
Yes.
No, what you do is you film it from her back. So all you see is like bare back, which is nothing.
Fortunately, have investors.
That's actually not a bad plan.
You heard?
Actually, she said if we can raise $10,000,
If we could raise $10,000, he can eat off of my titties.
Well, if so, and that's a challenge. We need to come up with 10 grand. She's taking off her pants. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Killing me. Can't do this with all this distraction.
Oh, you think about me, man.
I miss my husband now.
It's my wife walking around fucking naked.
And we're back, and this is the C block of the Media Virus Podcast, episode number 81. And we're going to join Dick Rockingham for everybody's favorite Media Virus game show. I wish you didn't know that. And here he is, Dick Rockingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, genders of all spectrums, welcome back to I Wish I Didn't Know. The only game we're being kind of fucked in the head could be worth big points. So let's get to the categories. Tonight's categories are
About to be on the screen.
about to be on the screen. What? Oh, the first one is That's a Record.
That's a record.
That's a record. Under the Ovaries.
Okay.
Phallus Facts.
This is a sex game.
Not exactly.
I got lost. Hang on. So that's what that's called. And Disney D's Nuts.
That one sounds like fun.
All right. I had a whole plan, but we don't have what's going on. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Juliet, go first.
3.
What the fuck? Dre.
7.
Okay. Mike.
5.
5. Mike, you were the one closest. Why don't you go ahead and choose the category?
What was the number?
It
It's
was
always
5.
5.
It's
It was 5.
Always 5.
always
Is it
5.
always 5? Fuck.
Always.
It's always 5.
Unless it's 3, but it's usually 5.
It's only 3 if I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 5.
Right.
No, but last time you forgot what you said.
Right.
Go
You
with-
meant to say 10, but you said 5.
Let's go with Phallus Facts for 100.
Phallus Facts for 100. Did you ever have someone tell you to go blow yourself? Well, if you told this animal to blow itself, it could. Is an animal that can self-fillet a squirrel? Is it a blowjob horse, a giraffe, or a panda?
I
think Big Daddy chimed in.
He did.
I gotta go with the panda.
Panda's incorrect.
Damn it.
The panda cannot blow itself.
Scorpion goddess.
Scorpion goddess.
I would say a giraffe because they have a really long neck.
You would think a giraffe could blow itself because it has a really long neck, but it cannot.
Wow.
There's only the Mike. The answers left.
I'm going. Yeah, go ahead.
The answers left are a squirrel or a horse. Now think about your answer carefully. Consider your options.
I'm going with horse.
You're absolutely incorrect. The only animal that can blow itself is a squirrel.
Squirrel.
See, I was going with the fact that you called it a blowjob horse in
I
the
see.
first. I thought you were giving me a clue.
No. I threw you off.
You did.
So I did. I didn't mean to throw anybody off, but
I thought when you said a blowjob horse that like
I apologize. I that is a party foul. So I'll leave you to remain in control of the board.
I'd like to go with phallus facts for 200.
Phallus facts for 200. Mr. Horst Schultz should change his first name to Hose. He holds the record for the farthest ejaculation ever. Did he ejaculate A, 7 feet, B, 5 feet, C, 18 feet, or D, 22 feet?
PML.
PML chiming in.
I'm going to go with 22 feet.
22 feet is not correct.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
18 feet.
18 feet is the answer. Opening up, first one to put points on the board, taking control of the board. Big Daddy, where do you want to go next, man?
Phallus facts for 3.
Phallus facts closing out the category. Relative to body size, the largest penis in the world.
I know this
Measured
one.
in.
Big Daddy.
Okay, Big Daddy.
It's a barnacle.
That is incorrect.
Fuck. Thought it
You
was a
didn't even
barnacle.
ask the question.
I asked the question. I didn't give the answers.
Oh, I didn't.
So since
just heard
all
the
the
biggest
answers are still in play, I will give Big Daddy an opportunity to participate in answering the question. Relative to body size, the largest penis in the world is measured at, is it A, 15 inches and belong to a gentleman from Greece, 13 and a half inches erect and belonged to a Brooklyn bro, C, 17 inches erect and was attached to an Argentine blue-billed duck, or D, who cares? It's not the size of the tool, but how you use it that matters.
PML.
PML.
The duck.
The duck, a 17-inch penis attached to an Argentinian blue-billed duck, is relative to body size the largest penis in the world. Taking back control of the board is Professor Mike Latoris. Mike, we've closed out Phallus facts. Do you want to go on to the ovaries, or we're going over to these nuts?
I would love to go on to the ovaries.
On to the ovaries. Women are more willing to cheat on their partner when, is it A, when they've been cheated on?
Wait, sorry.
B-
Can you say the question one more time?
The women, okay, the question is, women are whores. No, women are more willing to cheat on their partners when A, they've been cheated on, B, they've been grinded on all night at the club, C, their ovulation cycle is telling them to, or D, they've watched a lot of pornography. What did you say?
Big.
Anyway,
PML.
PML.
I'm going to go with the ovulation cycle.
The ovulation cycle is absolutely correct. A woman will cheat on you just because their body tells them to. Oh, what's that? Just being silly. Professor Michael Torres, you are still in control of the board. You want to stay under the ovaries, or are we going for a record?
I'd like to check out D's nuts, please.
All right, Disney, D's nuts. The original The Little Mermaid, written by Hans Christian Andersen, was way darker than anyone realizes. At the end of the story, the mermaid, A, kills the prince when he doesn't love her back, B, swims away, never to return, C, kills herself to obtain immortality, or D, sleeps with the prince's dad.
PML.
PML just swinging his big old dick around.
A.
A,
Kills
the
a bitch.
prince when he doesn't love her back is not correct.
Damn it.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy chiming in.
She bangs his dad.
Bangs dad's incorrect. Juliet, does she swim?
Oh,
Does she
stop.
Does she swim away, never to return, or does she kill herself to obtain immortality?
I think she kills herself.
Holy shit! The Scorpion Goddess put some points on the board. Rips control away from Professor Mike Latoris. Are we staying here at Disney D's Nuts? Or are we going over? Oh, we're staying with Disney's D's Nuts. In an early Mickey Mouse cartoon, Minnie failed. Oh, in an early Mickey Mouse cartoon, Minnie falls in love with someone else. Mickey reacts by A, trying funny ways to kill the guy, B, trying funny ways to kill himself, C, scoring with Daisy Duck, or D, trying funny ways to kill Minnie Mouse.
D. Scorpion Goddess D.
Scorpion Goddess D is not correct.
Oh, I thought that's what happened.
The remaining answers are A, trying funny ways to kill the guy, B, trying funny ways to kill himself, or C, banging Daisy Duck.
Big Daddy. Let's
Big
go
Daddy.
with banging Daisy Duck.
That's not correct.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Damn it. That would be fun. though.
That is not correct. So Mike, did in this cartoon that this $12 game at Kohl's is talking about?
I'd say he tried to kill the other dude in funny ways.
No.
Really?
No, he tried funny ways to kill himself. I actually remember that episode.
Disney was a really, really twisted dude, man.
All right. Scorpion Goddess maintains control of the board. Nobody takes that question.
Word. I'm gonna go with 300 for these nuts. For
Disney, D's Nuts.
Yeah.
Which ride at Disneyland is the most popular place for guests to dump the ashes of loved ones? Is it A, inside the Haunted Mansion, B, in the water on It's Small World, C, in the dark of Space Mountain, or D, over the side of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad?
PML.
PML chiming in.
It's the Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion is correct.
Why
not
the
only-
fuck would it be the Haunted Mansion?
It's haunted.
Oh,
You want your dead relatives to be where
Yes.
it's haunted.
Certain romanticism. In fact, I believe they actually have a sign now that says, "Please
Yes.
don't dump your dead relatives here."
They absolutely do. It's wonderful. Makes me happy. Okay, so the categories left, Professor Mike Latoris, are That's a Record, Under the Ovaries, or So That's What That's Called.
Give me So That's What That's Called for 100, please.
So That's What That's Called for 100. Try not to laugh the next family dinner when mom asks dad to toss the salad. If only mom knew that tossing salad is slang for
Scorpion
Big Daddy?
Goddess.
Scorpion Goddess chiming in.
Eating ass.
Eating ass is correct. The answer here is D, getting your butthole licked, but I will take it. You will get an extra 100 points just for jumping the gun.
Oh, yay.
You jumped the gun, you answered it right, so you get 100 points. We're just going to have to remember that.
We'll make a note.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have what?
300 points now.
300 points. That kind of puts you in the game. All right, so you have control. Scorpion Goddess, That's a Record, Under the Ovaries, or So That's What That's Called.
Under the ovaries.
Under the ovaries. Getting pregnant causes a woman's body to expand in crazy ways. But which part of human anatomy gets bigger during childbirth, and never goes back to its original size?
Big Daddy.
Oh, God damn it.
Big Daddy chiming in for the extra 100 points.
That's not fair because
Yes.
he's a nurse. I gave birth. I know too.
What is that?
Hips.
Hips?
Mm-mm.
is
Hips.
not
No, that's not it.
the answer. Hips are not on the sheet.
It may not be on the sheet, but that's a goddamn fact.
Okay.
But,
Now, since that answer is not on the sheet, I will allow Big Daddy to continue. Getting pregnant causes a woman's body to expand in crazy ways. But which part of the human anatomy gets bigger during childbirth and never goes back to its original size? Is it the A, stomach, B, feet, C, ass, or D, head?
Scorpion goddess.
Scorpion Goddess chiming in. What part of a woman's body never goes back to the original size after birth?
I think it's feet because after
Yeah,
my mom
absolutely
had my brother,
correct.
her feet
That is-
didn't go back down.
That is absolutely correct. If your feet grow, they do not go back
I was counting on you to get that wrong.
to the original size.
Hey,
All right. Scorpion Goddess in control of the board. A surprising showing this week. Left is that's a record under the ovaries, or so that's what that's called. Where are you going?
under the ovaries.
Sticking with what she knows.
Yeah, that's right.
This one might trip you up a little bit.
Hmm.
This one, we might have you on this one. All right. So according to research, women look their oldest on this specific day and time every week. Is it A, Mondays at 2 p.m., B, Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m., is it C, Fridays at 10:15 a.m., or is it D, Sundays at 9 a.m.? Which of those times and days do women look the oldest?
I'll go with maybe
You got to chime in.
Scorpion goddess.
Scorpion Goddess.
It's either Monday or Wednesday. I
Which one?
think.
Is it A or B? Is it Monday or Wednesday? I mean,
I'm gonna go with
does a
Wednesday.
woman? You're going to go with what?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. That's your final answer?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Stick to your guns because that's correct. Wednesday at 3:30 is, according to research, when women look their oldest.
That's so weird.
According to, well, yes, because at Wednesday, wait, who's fucking you on Wednesday? You work today.
Okay, well, traditional.
Tradition, yeah, you're usually off. All right. Anyway,
Wow. All right. So I want to go to, so that's what that's called, the 200.
so that's what that's called. 200.
Yeah.
If someone is suffering from Koro, Koro, they are afraid that, are they afraid that A, everyone is going to die? Are they afraid that B, their dick is shrinking? Are they afraid that C, they will forget how to swim? Or are they afraid of D, they are constantly being watched by Satan?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy chiming in.
I think that's B.
You are absolutely correct. How anyone would fucking know that, I have no idea. But Koro, Koro, is a fear that your dick is shrinking.
I vaguely remember it being something that afflicts Japanese men.
Ah, Koro. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't say irrational fear. They're just
Right.
afraid. It's like being afraid of, walking out your door. It's
They're
gonna
like,
happen.
oh, of course. So we need a name for it. Yeah.
It's also why it's not called, oh, shit.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. All right. So
Go ahead.
let's do that's a record for 2.
That's a record for 2.
Jumping
2.
over the 100-point question. How about that?
Right over. I'm losing bad.
All right, you want to go for 2. So, okay. The longest amount of time spent masturbating by a man is A, 1 hour, B, 30 minutes, C, 10 hours, or D, 26 hours, 33 minutes.
PML.
Jesus.
PML.
It was awfully specific, so I'm going to have to go with 26 hours and 33 minutes. D.
I think the game does shit like that to throw you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked. So that is not the answer.
Scorpion Goddess.
Scorpion Goddess, what is the answer?
10 hours.
That is absolutely correct. C, 10 hours. Although, if you were to add up all the time I've spent masturbating when I was on antidepressants, and your dick stops working just out of nowhere, you add up all that time, I got him beat.
Wait. Okay. That's why you guys said that. Because I thought Big Daddy was like going to be like, oh, forget the 300. I'm just going to go to That's a Record for 100. But that's why you said you're skipping the 100. I didn't know we could do that.
All right. You really can't. He just did. I don't know. I wasn't how the thing was designed. Just pick a fucking category. Do you want? so that's a record, or so that's what that's called.
I want to do so that's what that's called.
Now that's closing it out. That's $300 all day long. Is $300. That's a $300 bill right there.
Hey.
All right. You might suffer from nomophobia, Nomophobia, and not even realize it. Nomophobia is the irrational fear of A, sleeping outside, B, the ocean, C, being without a cell phone, or D, rainstorms. Nomophobia.
PML.
PML chiming in.
Sleeping outside.
Sleeping outside, that first A answer, no, that's not correct. So the
Big Daddy?
Big Daddy chiming in.
The phone thing.
The phone thing.
The phone thing is absolutely correct. The answer is, in fact, C. If you suffer from nomophobia, it is a irrational fear of being without a cell phone. I don't know about you, but if I can't find my cell phone, I immediately get just a wave of panic.
Yeah, I do too.
And
but mine is because I know how expensive it is.
I knew the answer wasn't the rain because that one movie with that chick who's in the apartment and she's like afraid of the outside in the rain.
Oh yeah.
They say whatever it was called in that. So I was like, I know it's not that one.
All right. So that's a record is all that's left. I'm just going to go ahead and read this off. A man in Ahmednagar, Gujarat, India, owns the record for the most fingers and toes on a human. This human calculator must find it impossible to find gloves and socks because he's got this many working digits. Is it A, 22, B, 43, C, 31, or D, 28? How many working digits does Ahmednagar, just this man in Ahmednagar, Gujarat, India?
For fingers,
PML.
right?
Fingers and toes, PML,
Fingers
yes.
and toes. Okay.
With the last one, 28.
28's the answer. This man has,
I was thinking that.
I don't know, 20, that is 2 extra digits per hand.
That was the $100 question, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Damn it.
All right. And last question.
300 points up for grabs.
That's right. The record distance for squirting milk from a body part is 9 feet 2 inches. Who holds that record And where did the milk come from?
God.
Okay. Did that milk come from a Vermont woman from her nipple? Did that woman come from B, an English woman from her nose? Did that come from C, a Russian gentleman from his anus? Or D, a Turkish man from his eye?
Scorpion goddess.
Scorpion Goddess chiming in for 300 points. What's the answer?
I feel like it's the Vermont breast milk lady. Is that right? No.
I think you're really gonna come in strong. I was ready to fucking do that whole. You're absolutely correct. You won the game. I don't fucking believe it. But no. PML.
Turkish guy. I.
Damn it,
Ew.
that was
The
gonna be my
answer
guess.
is absolutely D. A Turkish man shot
it.
milk from his eye, 9 feet 2 inches.
That's so gross.
That is the
Don't
end
look
of the
at the math.
game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the winner of tonight's match is
Me.
Professor Mike Latoris. Exciting stuff. Well, that's
But
the
how
end of
many
the show.
points did he? I got. How many did he get? 1, 2.
I had 1,100. You had 1,000 points with
I
the fake
lost like a
fake 100 points added in. So you really only got 900. But Maddie was feeling sorry for you.
The fake. The fake 100 points.
She answered the fuck, dude. That was impressive. She answered the question without the answers.
Good point.
I will. That is now a rule of the show. If you jump in and say the answer before I start reading the answers, you get an extra 100 points. And if you're, I don't know, like, if you jump in before, you still have a chance to participate if you're wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just make rules as I go. Fuck it. That's how we do. That's how we do here on I Wish I Didn't Know in the Media Virus Podcast. That's a wrap. Mike, why don't you go ahead and bring us home?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight on the Media Virus Podcast, episode number 81. This being the C block and all. We will see you next week. On behalf of Juliet Everett, Stanley McFadden, and our fearless leader, Mr. Matty Rockdeff, I'm Professor Mike Latoris, coming from to you live here in Uncle Butch Studios, and we will see you next week, right here on the Media Virus Podcast. And we can't leave until we do, let's say, this. We almost sound professional sometimes.
Sometimes.
Once in a while.
almost.
Don't let
wish
it
I
go to
could-
your head.
And we're clear.